The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money, money, money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money, 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 money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grande.
We think the pullback was simply a result of no COVID-19 stimulus package.
And that's right, the market is down nearly 300 points, again, because there's no more stimulus package. They turned it down, the Democrats. So, what have I been saying about the stimulus? The stimulus packages do not help the economy. It only helps the stock market. Sure, it helps individuals. If you get a $365 a week unemployment check, you get on top of that another $600, but only helps you for a little while. Matter of fact, it doesn't really help you because it takes your incentive out of going back to work. Look, it may help some people, maybe helps some people a lot, but the overall economy, it doesn't help at all. The economy, if you're going to have a strong and vibrant economy, you need economic growth. It doesn't come from stimulus packages. It doesn't come from giving people $1,200 checks, giving people $600 checks. That's like a Band-Aid. That's not what drives an economy. What drives the economy is earnings from a company, profits. And how do you get profits? How does that come about? Most congressmen don't even know. Do you know that? You go to ask most of the congressmen, how do profits come about? They have no clue. A company has to work hard to get those profits so that he can get his earnings up so it pushes the stock price up. But nobody cares about that anymore today. I talked about that earlier this week. You don't need profits anymore. All you have to do is keep interest rates at zero and buy your own stock. Keep borrowing money and buy your own stock, called stock buybacks. But a stimulus, as I said, doesn't help. It drives the stock. Now, do you know if they passed that bill today, the stock market right now would be up 1,000 points. And that's what these stimulus packages do. That's why they do them. Not really to help the people, but to push the market up. And the reason why the Democrats don't want to do it, because they don't want to see the market go up. They want to see the market go down. Now, if the Democrats, remember, they're supposed to be for the little guy. They're supposed to be for Main Street. They're supposed to be for the hard-working guy, the everyday guy, the guy who's making $65,000 and less a year. That's who they're supposed to be for. What a bunch of BS. They put politics above him. They put politics above him. A person sitting here now out of work, small businesses. Look how many small businesses are closing their doors. Restaurants, unbelievable, closing their doors all over town. They could use that money. But they turned it down. Why? Because they say, well, the stock market will go down, which proves my point. The stimulus doesn't help the economy. It only helps the market to go up. If it was to help the economy, then the Democrats would have got it passed. But they know it doesn't help the economy. So they're saying, we're not going to pass it. It doesn't help the economy. It's going to push the market up and make Trump look better. Because all Trump's been talking about for the last 3.5 years or more now is the stock market, which was a huge mistake. Huge mistake. He should have been talking not about the stock market. He should have just told everybody, forget the market. Don't even look at the market. That's a game for the rich. That's a game for the rich. Let's talk about getting you some good jobs. Let's talk about infrastructure. Let's talk about health care. That's all he should have done, and he'd have no problem. But Larry Kudlow gave him bad advice. But, you know, if you've seen lately, has anybody picked this up, or am I the only one? You ever notice the market, all of a sudden it'll close down at the end of the day, 600 points, like it did, I think, on Wednesday or Tuesday, 600 points. and the next morning opens up 250 points. Do you ever wonder how the hell could that happen? Market closed at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You wake up in the morning, put the TV on, and it says implied open 250 points. What the hell happened overnight? It's called rigging the market. Also during the day, you ever notice like the market will go down 300 points, 200 points, and boom, it's back up. Positive 200, 300 points. What the hell is that? I hope you notice that. And you're going to see that more and more as we get closer to the election. And they're going to see it over and over and over. Now, how does it work? How do they do that? Well, that's called the President's Working Investor Group. They're the ones who are responsible, a.k.a. Plunger Team. Now, it was created, the Plunger Team was created in response to the 1987 market crash. And by the way, I remember that was in October, remember? I remember we started to get ready to short the market in January. That's how far out we saw the market was going to crash back then. But anyways, so it was created in response to the 1987 market crash to prevent it from going even lower. And there was another reason why they created the Plunger Team, to push the market up when they want. Because remember, G.W. Bush was now running for president because Reagan, his term was over. And they didn't want any corrections until the election was over. And that's what you're seeing here now. Every time the market drops, they run it right back up. Now, who is the Plunger Team? Well, it's the Secretary of, or it's the Secretary of Treasury, the Chairman of the Federal Reserve, Chairman of the SEC, and the Chairman of the Commodities Futures Trading Commission. But today, who's in that group? Larry Kudlow. He calls the shots with Steve Moore. That's a team and a half. Now, how do they rig the market? Well, here's what they do. When the stock market, the New York Stock Exchange, closes at 4 p.m., you got to remember, they're still trading the futures in Chicago. The futures exchange is still open. It's open for a half hour more. So the Plunger Team will get the money printed and hand it out to one or two of the 5 largest banks. Tell them to step in and to purchase S&P futures. That puts a backstop in. Why? Because the next morning when the big institutions, the big players come in, they're the ones that make the market go up or down. They come in and they already start doing some more selling because the market closed down 600 points. They look and they see the backstop. So they stop selling and they start buying pre-market. And that's why when you turn the channel early in the morning, 4, 5, 6 in the morning, look where it says implied open. It's implying the open is going to be up 200 points. Now you know how they do that. All they do is they go and print money. The Plunger Team, this organization who's working with the president, turns around and gives the money to a couple of banks. Banks go and buy the futures. And so the big institutions feel comfortable. Wow, this is great. They bought the futures. So that means the market's not going to go down. So I'm going to go in and make a quick hit, and I'm going to start buying stocks. And they start buying stocks pre-market. You'll see it. It says implied open. Just watch it tomorrow morning. Implied open. And again, they do it during the day. But here's what you really, that's one similarity to what happened in 1987. Remember, they formed it in 1987 to stop the market from crashing by sending in this team to buy the S&P futures. But they also they wanted to do it to make sure that the market wouldn't crash during the up to the election, to make sure GW got into office. Well, we're going to talk about these similarities, but we're going to also talk about what's really scary. The 1987 crash. It looks just like what's going on now. Exactly. Be right back.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Remember, when this market crashed in 2009, it should have never crashed because the chairperson of these two committees, their job was to protect consumers, protect our investments, and they're supposed to ensure that our investments are being monitored. Where were they in 2009 and 2008? They weren't anywhere because they don't do that. They take care of themselves. They protect themselves. They become richer. So you can't depend on these crooks in Congress. The stock market is a great place to be, but you just got to know this is a different market than your grandfather's market. So why don't you, for 30 days, join my gang, 877-600-GANG, try it for 30 days, $39.95. Follow me. I tell you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. All I ask you, start making money. Please remember St. Jude.
Don't wait. Join Phil's Gang today and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Graney, philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. And that's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now, worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy. Is your business prepared to respond to any emergency in the workplace? Well, you better be. Let over 30 years of law enforcement experience go to work for you. Boyd Investigative Group is here for all your business security needs. I know. I use them. They're terrific. Call today for your free confidential consultation. 941-724-4535. That's 941-724-4535. Or visit them on the website, BoydInvestigativeGroup.com.
License number A1900020.
With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG. Short on time but want to invest in the stock market? Let philsgang.com help you. For only $39.95 a month, you get complete access to all of Phil's powerful investing programs, videos, and resources.
That works for me. Log in, watch the videos, and make profits.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. philsgang.com.
Remember, when this market crashed in 2009, it should have never crashed because the chairperson of these two committees, their job was to protect consumers, protect our investments, and they're supposed to ensure that our investments are being monitored. Where were they in 2009 and 2008? They weren't anywhere because they don't do that. They take care of themselves. They protect themselves. They become richer. So you can't depend on these crooks in Congress. The stock market is a great place to be, but you just got to know this is a different market than your grandfather's market. So why don't you, for 30 days, join my gang, 877-600-GANG, try it for 30 days, $39.95. Follow me. I tell you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. All I ask you, start making money. Please remember St. Jude.
Don't wait. Join Phil's Gang today and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Welcome back. Are you a fan of the Phil's Gang radio show? Then you should check out philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
Hi, I'm Phil Grady, philsgang.com. Remember to subscribe to my Phil's Gang YouTube channel to get both my live and archived radio shows. Also, my free Phil's Take on the stock market. Also, sign up and get a free 10-day chart and membership trial. And again, go to my YouTube channel. You don't have to be a member. And subscribe, so every time I put something in, you know it's new. Go take a look at it. There's a lot of good stuff in there. The other day I put in, why did Warren Buffett, I explained why Warren Buffett dumped the banks, got rid of all his bank stocks, which was a big red flag, but nobody wanted to talk about it on the fake Business News Network. And I'm always telling you, giving you little tidbits like that, it'll help you. So check it out. Just go to my YouTube channel, that's all. But do subscribe, so that way you're alerted every time I give you a little hint about the market. All right, I want to get back to this. Very important what's going on here. So if we go back and take a look, when the markets go down and the next day they're right back up again, you don't have to guess anymore. Okay, what it is. Now you understand what it is. All it is simply the plunger team will go in early at night. If the market, let's say the market closed down 300 points today, okay, at 4 o'clock. Between 4 and 4:30, they'll go into the futures market in Chicago and start buying futures. That puts a base under. That puts a cushion. And then the big institutions early in the morning, they see what's going on. They're ready to sell 2 million shares. They look, we're not going to sell any shares. We'll buy shares. Then the next morning, it says implied open 200, and it opens up 200 points. And it's also during the day they do the same thing. This is what happened. This all started in 1987 when we had one of the worst crashes. And by the way, I'm going to talk about the 1987 crash because it looks exactly what was leading up to the 1987 crash is exactly what's going on now. Same exact thing. But people don't want to talk about that either. But the one thing that I love about my charting, especially the color-coded chart that we designed, is because you have to follow the money now. There's no such things as buying a company based on what it does or the fundamentals of the company. It doesn't matter anymore what the return on assets are or the return on equity. We used to use those. Those are really key because we identify the effectiveness of the CEO and his management team by looking at the return on assets and return on equity. Look at those. It doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter. We used to look at profit margins. Free cash flow, you always looked at free cash flow. That was so important. But nobody cares. You don't have to anymore. Because now that the market is continually rigged between zero interest rates, where they continue to do stock buybacks, and between the plunger team coming and fix the market up and down wherever they want it, it's an easier market. You can make more money in this market as a crooked market than you ever could make in the market that was honest. I'm serious when I say that, because I don't have to get up every morning and go look at at each company's financials. What's their profitability? What's their management effectiveness? Look at their income statement. I mean, I'm going to have to look at their total debt compared to another company, or what their book value per share is to another company, or their operating cash flow compared to another company. I don't need to know any of that anymore. I just take my color-coded chart, and if it's green, that means the institutions are buying. If it's red, it means the institutions aren't. If it's yellow, they're not quite sure. Not quite sure. I mean, that's what's the beautiful thing, that they took away the fundamentals. Isn't it easier? Think about it. Common sense says it's a lot easier just to follow the money. You used to hire brokers to analyze companies for you. That's a waste of time. Why would you do that? So go back to 1987 when it started, and remember what happened in that market leading up to the crash. Leading up to the crash, we had a banner years, 85, 86, up to 87. The stock market was incredible, exactly like what's going in the past year, 12 years. In those years, 1985, 87, those were an extension of an extremely powerful bull market, all due to what? Cutting rates, making rates extremely low. Does that sound familiar? Sure, it's the same thing that's going on now. That's why we had such a big bull market going up before that crash happened. Corporations back in the 80s, just like in the past 12 years, would raise massive amount of capital, debt. Right now, same thing. That's what we've been doing the last 12 years. Our corporations' corporate debt is historic. Just like what led up to the 1987 crash, they did the same thing. They kept dropping rates. Corporations kept borrowing. But back then, it was a little different. Back then, they used the money for business investment. Leading up to the 1987 crash, remember, they used it to go on an acquisition frenzy. Companies like Cisco, before it was public, other companies would go out and start purchasing companies to grow their companies. But then what happened? The sun, the moon, the stars all lined up perfectly. Because at the same exact time, the acquisition frenzy was going on because of crazy, crazy low rates like today. Guess what happened? Guess what came along? Microcomputers. PCs, personal computers. That changed everything. Soon with all this cheap money available, not only now for acquisitions, but now for IPOs. Do you know how many companies, new startups? It was unbelievable. Every day you'd have 4, 5, 6 IPOs. And then because retail customers, they viewed the PCs as a big revolution, just like when they viewed the steamship or they viewed the airplane. They went nuts. In the same way, now we're going nuts over the digital industries, the FANG stocks, the same exact thing. If you can't see what's going on, if you can't use 1987 to tell you what's going to happen in 2020, you got to be nuts. If you have to ask what is going to happen to the market, the answer is in 1987. More when I come back.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grain at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now, the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days. When the market's open, we watch the market all day long. And when we see there's an opportunity for a stock, and it's a stock that we've been following, there's a lot of stocks we put on our watch list, and it has to hit a certain criteria. Then when it does, we alert you. You immediately get an alert that says, we bought this stock, X stock, at $30. So you get an alert immediately. What's better than that? I mean, nobody does that for you. But the most important thing, they'll say, okay, here's why we're getting out now, or here's why we're taking profits. I think it's going to go down. Look, the most important thing is this. I want you to be prepared for when the market does tank or rally, that you're with us, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG. Join my gang right now, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG, and you'll be in position, and you'll sleep at night, and you don't have to worry.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy. Is your business prepared to respond to any emergency in the workplace? Well, you better be. Let over 30 years of law enforcement experience go to work for you. Boyd Investigative Group is here for all your business security needs. I know. I use them. They're terrific. Call today for your free confidential consultation. 941-724-4535. That's 941-724-4535. Or visit them on the website, BoydInvestigativeGroup.com.
License number A1900020.
When the market's open, we watch the market all day long. And when we see there's an opportunity for a stock, and it's a stock that we've been following, there's a lot of stocks we put on our watch list, and it has to hit a certain criteria. Then when it does, we alert you. You immediately get an alert that says, we bought this stock, X stock, at $30. So you get an alert immediately. What's better than that? I mean, nobody does that for you. But the most important thing, they'll say, okay, here's why we're getting out now, or here's why we're taking profits. I think it's going to go down. Look, the most important thing is this. I want you to be prepared for when the market does tank or rally, that you're with us, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG. Join my gang right now, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG, and you'll be in position, and you'll sleep at night. You don't have to worry.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Why pay thousands of dollars for a weekend seminar when for only $39.95 a month? philsgang.com provides all the daily market investing information you need to make profits in the stock market. With over 40 years of investing experience, only Phil Grandy and the philsgang.com team provide daily live investing webinars, up-to-the-minute market updates, all the investing educational videos you can imagine. Don't hesitate to learn, invest, and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. And that's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now, worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
Welcome back. Are you a fan of the Phil's Gang radio show? Then you should check out philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
Warning. Google, Apple, Microsoft, Netflix, Facebook, all these hot stocks are going to crash. They're going to drop as much as 60-70%. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. Exactly what happened in the dot-com days is going to repeat itself. Remember, 85% of people lose money in the stock market because they don't know when to get out. I fixed that with my color code technology chart. It tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. That's right. Make sure you check it out. It's free for 10 days, philsgang.com. That's right, 10 days for heaven's sakes. As I told you before the break, those days are over. Somebody sits with you and says, I found this great company, and here's what they make. And here, they're opening up 3 more divisions over here. They're opening up 2 companies down here. None of that matters anymore. Don't you get that? When they can go in the morning, when the market drops 600 points on Tuesday night, and you come back Wednesday and the market's up 250 points, what the hell? What do you care about what's going on with the company? When the CEO can go in and take money, get money printed, give it to him, zero interest. He has to pay no interest. And what does he do with the money? He buys his own company stock. So he reduces the amount of shares the company has outstanding. And every time he reduces the shares, and when his earnings come out, and his earnings are horrible, and the stock price should go down, he just buys more shares. and he pulls back more shares off the market. So now when his earnings went from 4% to 2%, I'm just going to take more shares off the market. Now the stock goes up $5 when it should go down. Just think of that alone. And then think on top of that, if the market drops 600 points, or even during the day, drops 300 points, and the plunger team don't like that, they go in and go to the futures. Go up to Chicago, buy the futures. Puts a floor in. The big institutions that were selling stop selling, they start buying. So in other words, what in the hell are you doing not having my chart? Because my chart is the only chart I know of in the world that identifies where the money's going. Or do you want to still listen to these geniuses on the fake business news networks to tell you how everything is just wonderful? Everything's wonderful. We live in a wonderful world.
It's just a wonderful world.
Yeah, it's a wonderful world for him because he's on the inside. But let's go back to why what happened in 1987 is very important to you. That was one of the worst crashes we ever had, and it's going to look like child's play compared to the crash we're going to have now. And you got to be ready for it. It's no big deal. I mean, be ready. You haven't got to go study anything, for heaven's sakes. You haven't got to go MIT or Harvard. All you got to do is be a member. If you don't want to learn anything, we'll tell you. Just follow our list of stocks, meaning our portfolio, and every day at 2 o'clock we post it, and we tell you exactly what to do. I mean, how does that not work? Like Caterpillar today. At 2 o'clock we posted it with a video. Listen.
Looking at our Caterpillar, we added to this yesterday. We're going to go ahead and continue holding. Our stop is at 140.
And then he goes on and tells you everything you need to do. You haven't got to know anything about Caterpillar. You don't have to know what its earnings are. Nothing. And you make money. Now, if you think I'm full of garbage, please take it for 10 days free and see if it works. So the market has become a big Ponzi scheme. That's wonderful. That's what we want. We want this dishonest market to continue because we don't have to go in and do all this foolish work like we used to. Have to find companies. I remember when I was a kid, I had to go find companies for my father. Companies that great companies that collapsed, but were still good companies. All they needed was to get rid of management, and then they'd bring management in, new management team, and they'd take that management team, leave it in there for 10, 15 years. Your stock stayed in there, and all of a sudden you made a lot of money in your stock. Those days are over. So, personal computers was the big deal. So think what they did in 1987. When the PCs came out, everybody went nuts. Every day, new PC, new IPO, another company opening up, going to build PCs, right? Remember that? Remember how crazy that was? But at the same time, we had a crazy acquisition frenzy going on. I remember when Cisco went public, remember? They were buying like 20 companies a day. So what happened? What eventually caught up? Well, because the market, just like now, kept going up and up and up. And everybody got caught up in that PC IPO euphoria. Sound familiar? It was so contagious, but not nearly as contagious as you people chasing Apple and Microsoft and FANG and those other stupid stocks. But it was contagious back then, too. The same way it's contagious now. We have a big historic tech bubble. Back then, we had a big historic IPO bubble. The investing public always thought the market's going to keep going up in 1987. Oh, does that sound familiar? Does that sound familiar? The euphoria made investors brain dead, believing the stock market would always go up, called climbing the wall of worry. Don't worry. The Fed will make sure the market won't come down. Well, it did. It did. And associated with that crash in 1987 was also, remember what was going on. We had massive illegal insider trading. Just what's going on today in our Congress. Yeah, our Congress. Insider trading has never been so rampant as it is now. And all the money in 1987 they kept printing and printing and printing to keep pushing these stocks up. It's the same thing we're doing now. It causes inflation. The same thing they're doing now. Exactly the same thing. Keeping interest rates down to zero. And so the CEOs can take this money at zero rates and get their stock price up. That's called inflation. Exactly what went on in 1987, exactly what's going on today. Same playbook. Stocks aren't going up because of economic growth or earnings. Going up because of inflation. The inflation is the printing of money to keep rates low, to get the CEOs to buy their own shares. So soon, institutional buyers in 1987, hello? Remember last week when the market dropped 1,000 points? I think it was Wednesday or Tuesday? Remember we went down 1,000 points? In 1987, when it finally hit the crash, caused the crash, all the big money, the institutions got smart. They started to purchase index futures. Remember I just told you about those? You go to Chicago and buy those after the market closes. They're open for a half hour after the market's closed. They bought those to cushion their stock portfolios against a big decline. But as interest rates as the inflation kept going up, at some point you have to raise rates. And when they did raise rates, all of a sudden, the market was everybody was buying these futures. And then when they raised rates, everybody was flooding the market with billions and billions of sell orders. And the market crashed of these futures. Exactly what's going on now. Do you remember this week, we had one day the market went down 1,020 points. Remember I warned you. I said the VIX index was going up in the same direction as the S&P. That's telling you we're going to have a correction. And we did. Went down 1,020 points. Only took a few minutes, right? Well, the 1,020 point correction we had in a few minutes was the same thing. They were selling, they were flooding the market with billions of dollars worth of sell orders of futures. The same thing, but this was just a very small amount. But it's amazing when you compare 1987, what they did then, to today, 2020. Everything is the same. But nobody wants to listen. Nobody wants to listen. All you want to hear is the markets keep going up. Everything is just fine. Well, it's not. So please, join my gang, help yourself, and then help St. Jude when you're making money. Because the only place where you're going to make money.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. What if you could have an in-depth understanding of the stock market just like the pros? Well, thanks to Phil Grandy and philsgang.com, you can. philsgang.com offers comprehensive, up-to-date market information designed to help you understand and anticipate market behavior. With philsgang.com, you'll build your investing confidence even through down cycles and periods of uncertainty. Go to philsgang.com. philsgang.com today. 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
Thinking about investing in the stock market? Go to philsgang.com, where we have over 50 years experience in trading and investing in the stock market. Phil's Gang teaches you how to make profits in the market with stock chart analysis, up-to-the-minute alerts, and always keeping you informed with professional guidance in long and short-term positions. Go to philsgang.com or call one of our professional staff to answer your questions. 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Stop wondering about your financial future and start doing something about it.
Remember, when this market crashed in 2009, it should have never crashed because the chairperson of these two committees, their job was to protect consumers, protect our investments, and they're supposed to ensure that our investments are being monitored. Where were they in 2009 and 2008? They weren't anywhere because they don't do that. They take care of themselves. They protect themselves. They become richer. So you can't depend on these crooks in Congress. The stock market is a great place to be, but you just got to know this is a different market than your grandfather's market. So why don't you, for 30 days, join my gang, 877-600-GANG, try it for 30 days, $39.95. Follow me. I tell you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. All I ask you, start making money. Please remember St. Jude.
Don't wait. Join Phil's Gang today and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Did you know breast cancer kills 113 people every day?
That's unacceptable.
African American women die from breast cancer nearly 41% more than Caucasian women.
That's unacceptable.
Breast cancer is the leading cause of all cancer deaths for Hispanic women.
Breast cancer is unacceptable.
Together with Susan G. Komen, we're committed to reducing U.S. breast cancer deaths by half.
And we're going to do it by 2026. Visit Komen.org/unacceptable.
Hi, I'm Phil Grant at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. And that's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now, worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy. Is your business prepared to respond to any emergency in the workplace? Well, you better be. Let over 30 years of law enforcement experience go to work for you. Boyd Investigative Group is here for all your business security needs. I know. I use them. They're terrific. Call today for your free confidential consultation. 941-724-4535. That's 941-724-4535. Or visit them on the website, BoydInvestigativegroup.com.
License number A1900020.
Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
Don't forget, get your tickets October 23. That's Sarasota Hyatt, 7 to 9 p.m. Conservative Summit. We're going to be myself, Larry Elder, Sebastian Gorka, Charlie Kirk. And again, it's from 7 to 9. It's been sponsored by Salem. We're going to have a lot of fun. You're going to learn a lot. I mean, that's a pretty good lineup, I think. Elder, Gorka, Kirk, you've seen them all on Fox. And myself. So get to my site, go to my site, philsgang.com, and you can check out the prices and the price of the ticket. But please do it as quickly as you can. It is being sold out. I'm not just saying that. I mean, heck, that's a pretty good lineup. I would expect people, my gang members could fill the place. So check it out. Okay, so I'm running out of time. I want to make sure you go to my site, philsgang.com, get your 10-day, your free trial on my color-coded chart and a membership. It entitles you to everything. It really does. You'll enjoy it. You can show your family how to use it. I mean, it's so simple. If you don't want to do anything at all, then just buy the spiders, a basket of the 500 stocks, and buy when we tell you to buy it, and we'll tell you to buy it when our color-coded computer, our color-coded chart turns green. When it starts turning yellow, we'll tell you to start taking some profits. When it turns red, we'll tell you got to get out now. And then we'll turn around and say, now let's do it reverse. We'll sell it short, so when it's going down, for the first time in your life, you're going to make money when the stock market goes down. When's the last time you made money when the stock market goes down? You've never made money with the stock market going down. Why? Because these dopes on these fake business news networks, that's the last thing they ever want you to do. They want you to buy. They never want you to sell because they don't make money when you sell. They only make money when you buy. I mean, it's crazy. So I hope today, I finally, got across to you that exactly what happened in 1987 is happening now. We felt a little bit of it on Tuesday, I think it was, when the market dropped in the afternoon quickly 1,000 points. What was that? It's the same thing that happened in 1987, but 1987 was on a huge scale. That's when, again, all the big institutions in 1987, they knew the market was really risky, so they went in and kept buying these index futures, the same ones that I told you tonight. The market's down 400 points. When the market, let's say the market closes tonight 400 points down. If tomorrow morning it opens up positive, now you understand why. Because the plunger team will go in. Remember, the futures market is open a half hour longer than the stock market, and they'll go in and buy those futures. And when they buy those futures, when the institutions in the morning see those were purchased, that's saying the Federal Reserve is putting a floor into the market, so it's not going to go down. And then that's when you see on CNBC screen implied open 200 points, whatever. So they rig the market. That's how they do it. But that's okay. I don't want to change back because I don't have to do the work I used to have to do. You'd have to go through all the balance sheets of the companies. You have to see their cash flow, which was the biggest thing, their free cash flow. You had to check that out. You had to pile through their earnings, find all the stuff they hide. Don't need to do any of that. You're a kid. We should be taking this chart and give it to kids starting grammar school, for heaven's sakes. I mean, they all use computers today, right? They should all know how to buy a stock. Never mind this history lesson where when did Geronimo jump over the river and, shoot somebody? I mean, give me a break. Give these kids something they need. Well, why don't you give them a lesson how to answer the phone? That'd be a good lesson, don't you think, for our kids? Before you graduate from high school, you got to do two things. You got to learn three things. Learn how to answer the phone. Learn how to count change without a computer, and learn how to write a letter, a proper letter. You got kids graduating from Harvard, Williams College, Princeton. They don't know how to write a letter. They don't know how to give change. They still answer a phone. Hey, is your mother there? Jeez, God. Look, inflation. They're going to have to raise rates like they did in 1987. There's no way around it. You can't keep interest rates at zero, which creates the inflation that creates demand for goods and demand for our stocks. And inflation's not 2%. They're lying to us. Inflation is double digits. They got to tamp that down. The only way they're going to do that is to raise rates. And they can't control that. Oh, sure, they can control it with the short-term rate, but the long-term rate, remember, that's auction. The Fed don't control that. So you got to understand, we're at the same place we were in 1987, and their goal right now is to make sure Trump doesn't suffer a market correction between now and Election Day. That's the big deal. That's the big deal. Listen, again, please go to my site, philsgang.com, and please sign up. 10 days, it's free. And look what you get. You get the color-coded chart. Every morning we have a class from 9:30 to 11 o'clock. And then we do, at 2 o'clock, we post. Stephen, who's the head of our education department, sits down with his team, takes the stocks that are in our stock portfolio. These are the stocks that our members are in. And he will do a video on each one of them, telling you exactly what to do based on the color-coded chart. So you got 10 days to judge it yourself. See if it works. Doesn't cost you anything. And all we ask, if you decide, boy, this is a pretty good deal, it works, and you become a member, that when you do start making money, please help St. Jude. All right, another thing we got to talk about. The biggest problem that people have right now, okay, and they don't understand, a lot of people are buying stock on margins. On margins. Are you nuts? Because, see, they think that the FANG stocks aren't ever going to go down again. That's like in 1987. They thought the IPOs and the stocks and these IPOs, all the PC tech, were never going to come down either. They thought they thought that would never come down. And they had all kinds of margin calls. And when you get margin calls, my group, Phil's Gang, we're going to make a lot of money. Why? Because we're the only ones that will be shorting. Because when this market collapses, it's going to be so huge because of the margin calls. People are buying Apple, Microsoft, Netflix, Facebook, all on margin. That's borrowed money. And then when they get a call, they have to cover their margin, send another check. They will sell my stock instead. Oh my God. The panic sets in and you're in for one ride on the way down. And that's the beautiful thing. And no stock is going to hide. You're not going to. Facebook can't hide. Amazon's not going to hide. Apple, Netflix, Google, those are going to be the first ones to go down. But nobody believes me. It's going to be the first ones to go down. And you know what stocks are going to be the first ones going up? Gold. That's right, gold stocks. In fact, if you take a look at the stock GOLD, I'm putting up on my chart right now. If you have a mobile device, you can see it. Gold has been going up. Gold stock, GOLD, has been going up beautifully. Right now, she's trading around $30.10. If she breaks out, if she can get above $31.22, you should start buying it. I mean, what relative strength? Market's going straight down 400 points, and gold's going up. Same with our airlines. Our airlines are doing terrific. And not only our airlines, but we got our cruise ships. They're doing terrific. Carnival Cruise Line. Here's another one I like, is American Airlines, consolidating nicely. Market went down 400 points today. And guess what? American Airlines didn't go down at all. That means it has relative strength. Are you kidding me? But we got some beautiful airline stocks, and we got some beautiful cruise lines. My God. Are you I don't know. If you're not in the, right now, you got to wait a little bit on the cruise lines, okay? And we just got to wait for a little pullback to show more relative strength before we add to our positions again. But see, this is what we do for you. We tell you exactly what to do. Does anybody else do that? What are you, nuts? Join my gang free for 10 days. Don't forget to get your ticket for the Conservative Summit, October 23, Sarasota Hyatt, 7 to 9 p.m. See you on the chart.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grandy, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
It's up to me to make